A 1-year-old girl nearly drowned when her family's drained backyard pool was secretly filled by the HOA without warning, paperwork, or consent. Margaret Hale, the HOA president, dismissed it as enforcing standards, even as doctors warned the child might never wake. But Emily and Michael Reed didn't stay quiet, and what began as a silent tragedy ignited a firestorm of outrage and accountability. The Reeds' home sat at the end of Maple Grove Lane, a modest house with chipped beige paint and a lawn that never quite cooperated. Inside, it was alive with warmth, fresh coffee, toddler giggles, and photos of baby Lily lining the walls. Her first laugh, her wobbly steps, her obsession with splashing in the sink, they were the heartbeat of the home. For Emily and Michael, Lily wasn't just their daughter, she was their world. The backyard pool had been empty for months, drained after a crack appeared near the drain. Michael, a night shift mechanic, planned to repair it when finances allowed. Until then, they turned it into Lily's haven. Soft foam mats lined the concrete, a tarp shaded the sun, and stuffed animals filled the space. Emily would sip iced tea at the edge, watching Lily crawl and babble. It wasn't fancy, but it was secure, until Margaret Hale decided otherwise. Margaret, a meticulous woman in her 60s with a sharp bob and a clipboard for every occasion, ran the HOA like a private empire. To her, the Reeds were a blemish, grass too tall, toys peeking over the fence, and that eyesore empty pool. She dropped hints before, her voice dripping with condescension, urging them to fix it. But one morning, while Michael was at work, she acted. Emily stepped inside for a moment to grab a sippy cup. Lily was cooing, sprawled on her mat, clutching a plush giraffe. When Emily returned, silence gripped the air. Then, a faint splash. Her heart stopped. She sprinted to the pool, now inexplicably filled with 3 feet of cold, chlorinated water. Ripples broke the surface. In the center, barely visible, floated Lily's tiny yellow socks. Emily screamed, leaping in. The concrete scraped her shins raw, but she clawed through the water, seizing Lily's limp arm. She hauled her out, sobbing, pressing shaky hands to her chest, counting compressions. The ambulance arrived in 6 agonizing minutes. Paramedics worked in grim silence, one muttering about brain damage. Emily clung to Lily's hand, whispering lullabies through tears. At the hospital, Lily breathed faintly but didn't wake. Margaret didn't apologize. Instead, she mailed a complaint, accusing Emily of aggressive behavior, at the community gate. The letter painted Emily as unhinged, a danger to neighborhood harmony. It was a calculated move, shielding Margaret with a paper trail. 2 days later, the HOA meeting felt like a trial. Neighbors sat on folding chairs, murmuring behind agendas. Emily, clutching hospital reports, faced Margaret. "You didn't warn us," she said, voice cracking. "You filled our pool, and my daughter." Margaret cut in, cool as stone. "Your pool was a hazard. We followed protocol." Emily's voice hardened. "Protocol? You pumped water where my child played without asking." A neighbor piped up. "You knew it was empty, Emily. Why no cover?" Another added. "This is about community standards." The crowd turned. They didn't see Lily fighting for life, they saw broken rules. Emily's breath hitched. No one here wanted justice, they wanted order. She stepped back, gripping Michael's hand, her resolve hardening. That night, by Lily's bedside, Emily whispered, "We're not done, sweetheart." Michael, changed by rage and grief, stood on their porch, staring at the pool's mocking shimmer. He made calls, one to a lawyer, another to a city code expert. The lawyer was blunt, Margaret's actions were illegal. The expert cited 3 violations: no consent, no notice, and no safety checks. Michael pored over doorbell footage, catching workers sneaking in with hoses. He built a case with ruthless precision. Emily, meanwhile, unraveled. She drifted through the house, haunted by dreams of water, waking soaked in sweat. She sang to Lily, clinging to hope despite doctors' grim words. Minimal brain activity. Michael didn't sleep either. He contacted Sarah Klein, a journalist known for exposing HOA abuses. Her article hit like a bomb. Maple Grove family alleges HOA filled pool without consent, child critical. News vans swarmed. Neighbors whispered. The story went national. Leaked HOA emails, sent anonymously to Michael, revealed Margaret's intent. If they won't comply, make them feel the consequences, she wrote. No more delays. The community fractured. One board member quit, another vanished online. Margaret stayed silent, her armor cracking. The investigation escalated from a civil dispute to a criminal case. Subpoenas flew, and the trial packed the courthouse. Reporters and residents filled the seats. Margaret sat rigid, her usual confidence dimmed. The prosecution played the doorbell footage, workers creeping in, no papers, just arrogance. Emily took the stand, her voice steady but raw. I heard a splash. Then nothing. My daughter sank, and I couldn't reach her. The room froze. She's gone because someone valued rules over life. Jurors leaned forward. Margaret stared at the floor. After 3 days, the verdict landed. The HOA was liable for negligence, fined heavily, and Margaret was stripped of her role. The judge's words were ice. This was endangerment of a minor. No one cheered. Emily and Michael stood still, the weight of truth settling. The compensation was hefty, but they left it unopened. No money could erase the pain. Outside, a crowd gathered. Some held signs, Lily deserved better. Others shouted at Margaret as she exited, her face blank. What if it was your kid? One yelled. A sign read, Justice isn't a bylaw. Margaret paused by her car, glancing back, not at the crowd, but at the courthouse, her world of control shattered. For 11 weeks, Emily and Michael lived in Lily's hospital room, memorizing beats and nurses' footsteps. Hope faded, but they stayed, reading her favorite books, playing her songs. On the 78th morning, Michael felt it, a faint squeeze. Lily's fingers curled around his. Emily! He whispered. She jolted awake. Lily's eyelids twitched, then opened, her blue eyes locking onto them. Nurses rushed in, but Emily and Michael only saw their daughter. We see you, baby, Michael choked out. Emily sobbed. Hi, sweet girl. A year later, the pool was reborn, smooth, safe, with gentle stairs and soft lights. The Reeds didn't plan a ceremony, but neighbors came, some with gifts, others with guilt. Michael cut a ribbon reading Where Life Begins. An elderly man, voice rough, spoke up. I saw it all and stayed quiet. That was wrong. I'm sorry. Emily, holding Lily, replied. Promise you'll speak next time. He nodded. We all will. Lily, now too, watched the water, her tiny hand reaching out. Michael guided it gently. Emily smiled, not with triumph, but peace. The water lapped softly, and children laughed nearby. It wasn't closure, it was presence. What do you think? Was Margaret's obsession with rules justified, or were her actions unforgivable? Should the neighbors have spoken sooner? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate where the line is between order and humanity. Hit that like button if this story moved you, and subscribe for more stories that spark real conversations.